continuous feedback on iterations and helps you achieve business objectives. Whether user engagement, data feedback, or perception analysis and business decision-making, you need a solid data foundation. We help enterprises collect data from all segments to construct a data platform based on data sources through data management, storage, and imports into real-time queries and smart engines. We also help enterprises reconstruct a solid data foundation for in-depth senses with targeted decision-making, precise action, and real-time feedback. We hope to empower your business by developing a closed loop between marketing and operations with digital development and leverage data to drive business iterations and growth. With more than 1,500 customers in more than 30 industries and more than 50,000 active users using Sensors data to drive business growth, we help enterprises build their data foundation and achieve digitizing operations. We are Sensors Data. Thank you for listening to our story.
Determine through attribution analysis and tagging. He also set goals and, subsequently, Sensors data will offer an activity evaluation to see how many users entered the plan, how many were reached, and how many completed the goal. After implementing all these analyzers and operational strategies, David achieved significant growth in both new users and GMV. If you also want to get help from
four dimensions, Amy has a deeper understanding of these two channels. Based on these insights, Amy decided to increase the advertising budget for Facebook and focus on promoting luxury goods on the landing page. At the same time, she will maintain the current advertising strategy on TikTok, mainly promoting fast fashion products. This allows Amy to more accurately acquire target customers from different channels, thereby improving the effectiveness of advertising campaigns. After optimization, Amy conducted the next round of traffic allocation. To measure whether the optimization of traffic strategy is effective, Amy compares the new data with the previous data and finds that the conversion rates for both channels have improved. To better measure performance in terms of business value, she created a summary table and conducted a comprehensive comparison based on quantity, quality, orders, and revenue dimensions. She found that overall, the optimization effect was pretty good, with improvements in paid amount, order paid. With the help of Sensors
of users changes every day. Nowadays, industries are accelerating service upgrades with online and offline integration and providing accurate and personalized services. When facing a massive surge in data, how can enterprises use data to achieve digitizing operations? This requires three core competencies: a solid data foundation, in-depth analytical insights, and user engagement. You need to understand your users to get analytical insights. Users' footprints are everywhere. By integrating data from multiple platforms, you can identify each user and create a user tag system for precise operations. Every user has different needs. Through user personas, you can gain insights into user features and preferences, which can be used to develop targeted strategies for user engagement. Analytical insights need to fit your business scenarios. How's your acquisition of users? calculate ROI, and improve your strategy by monitoring acquisition channels. By tracking user behavior, gain insights into product design, and enable data-driven product iteration and user experience optimization. You can track the data operating from your social media, applications, third-party e-commerce, and offline stores via graphic reports in real time, and stay on top of evolving market patterns. Analytical insights are just the beginning. The ultimate objective is to make effective and scientific decisions that drive successful business strategies. User engagement requires precise push notifications and effective interactions. When you already have a target group, you can effectively interact with users through pop-ups, line app push, app notifications, etc., making precision operations part of your standard approach. Want to launch a efficient marketing campaign? Sensors Data Platform helps you create a traceable QR code easily without R&D resources. A efficient marketing campaign can be easily launched on your own. What to do throughout a user lifecycle? Through Sensors Canvas, complete automated engagement at key points, interact with the right people at the right time and with the right strategy, and inspire customer loyalty. User engagement requires personalized recommendation on user preferences. To provide different content to different users at a certain point, you only need to set the recommendation rules in Sensors Data Platform, and users will get to see their personalized content. How to recommend products in massive volume? AI can help. For a personalized user experience, machine learning and other advanced algorithms provide smart and tailored recommendations in real time. Evaluating actions' effectiveness is essential. Through the dashboard, review campaign results in real time. This will give you the settings of each action, provides continuous feedback on iterations, and helps you achieve business objectives. Whether user engagement, data feedback, or perception analysis and business decision-making, you need a solid data foundation. We help enterprises collect data from all segments to construct a data platform based on data sources through data management, storage, and imports into real-time queries and smart engines. We also help enterprises reconstruct a solid data foundation for in-depth senses with targeted decision-making, precise action, and real-time feedback. We hope to empower your business by developing a closed loop between marketing and operations with digital development, and leverage data to drive business iterations and growth. With more than 1,500 customers in more than 30 industries and more than 50,000 active users using Sensors data to drive business growth, we help enterprises build their data foundation and achieve digitizing operations. We are Sensors Data. Thank you for listening to our story.
Please contact us. You can find more detailed information or David is in charge of this event, and he only has 2 months to prepare. He needs a more efficient marketing tool to help him. In the first step, David used Sensors Analytics to analyze the data of the new series launched last time targeting young consumers. Then he discovered some interesting insight. David obtained these insights by using Sensors Data's Activity Performance Analysis demo, which is based on the accumulated experience of thousands of companies across dozens of industries. Firstly, he reviewed the overall data for the current stage, including metrics such as UV, PV, and GMV. TikTok brings in the most users, followed by WhatsApp. However, when it comes to GMV, organic traffic contributes the most, followed by Instagram. This is because, while TikTok has a high registration rate, however its purchase conversion rate and retention rate are very low, Instagram and organic traffic show the opposite trend. Since the goal is to boost GMV, the marketing investment should be directed towards Instagram. Traffic from different calls, the data shows that mid-tier calls drive the best user engagement, While top-tier KOLs can generate significant exposure and bring in a considerable number of users, their purchase conversion rates are not as high. Therefore, the strategy should focus more on promoting through mid-tier calls. Over half of our website traffic is generated through social media sharing, with a significant contribution from key opinion leaders (KOLs). Analysis of our social network data reveals that a small group of users are particularly influential, driving a substantial amount of shared traffic and serving as central nodes in our network topology. In terms of user profile, although women are the most frequent visitors, a staggering 80% of the primary buyers are actually men. Women are driving purchases by sharing product links, which leads men to buy gifts for them. Users who made purchases view product detail pages an average of 10 times, while users who did not make purchases exited after just 2 views. Half of the new users place an order within a week, and 75% of the new users take 2 weeks. Therefore, pushing notifications or offering coupons at these 2 critical points can help encourage purchases. Additionally, attribution analysis revealed a correlation between users who purchase rings and those who purchase necklaces. Typically, users who buy rings will order necklaces within a week. Therefore, during promotional activities, targeted recommendations based on user preferences should be made. Summary: based on these insights, David discovered that for the channel and KOL pairing in this campaign, he should choose Instagram channel and mid-tier call. In designing the ad content, it is crucial to highlight expressions of love from boyfriends to girlfriends, including designing gift cards. Additionally, after consumers successfully share links, it is essential to follow up within 7 and 14 days to avoid user churn. Personalized push notifications can recommend products that users are inclined to prefer. Sensors data provides a flow canvas feature, allowing David to use various strategy tools to precisely deliver actions such as SMS, push notifications, and coupons to his target audience. For example, he targeted users who recently browsed but did not place an order, with content tailored to the user's preferred products, determined through attribution analysis and tagging. He also set goals and, subsequently, Sensors data will offer an activity evaluation to see how many users entered the plan, how many were reached, and how many completed the goal. After implementing all these analyzers and operational strategies, David achieved significant growth in both new users and GMV. If you also want to get help from Sensors data or more related information,
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for making a time to this webinar. And it was my honor to meet you here. And maybe let's start. So I am Della Mao, and had been actually architect for SAP for 15 years and responsible for the data warehousing and analytics solutions. So I had been involved in many projects to set up the enterprise data warehouses for the top enterprises, and also build up the analytical solution like dashboarding, and also further data activation solutions, for example, business planning. And then since 3 years ago, I joined Sensors Data, and it is another very interesting world that is trying to help all the companies with the data. So it focuses in the area of the customer data. So if the enterprise warehouses are focusing more on the data generated by the business process, and Sensors Data is trying to help the clients to get more understanding of our customers. So what they are interested in, and what they are looking for, how we can maintain a long-term relationship with the customers. So these are the questions we would try to help you to answer. And so later I would then start to present our solutions. So if you have any questions during the whole presentation, just feel free to leave your question in the chat. And our colleagues who are responsible for the live streaming assistant will collect all the questions, and I will try to give the answers by the end of the presentation. Yeah. Okay, so maybe let's just start right now. Okay. First, who is census data? So we started in Asia and now a leading CDP solution provider of Asia. So we have now more than 2,500 customers globally and processing more than 250 billion data per day. The customers are quite happy about our services, so the renewal rate is above 95%. We are rated by IDC as the China market top share in the area of customer data platform, user behavior analytics, and the marketing automation. But today for the presentation or this webinar, we will focus more in the user behavior analytics. And since this is our, the first session, yeah. And we are also trying a lot to contribute to the open source community. So we actually are offering more than 50 SDKs for free, yeah. And if you are interested in the omni-channel coverage, yes, it's 100%. Okay, yeah, this is a quick overview of the whole solutions. Yeah, so it starts from the data integration and ID mapping. So as this solution is focused in the customer data, so this means ID mapping is playing an important role that try to integrate the data from different sources and also mark them with a unique ID. And after the data is integrated and prepared by ID mapping, and we have already several models, like mostly the analysis models already available. So I would explain to you later why this is a direct, out-of-box solution, yeah, ready to use. And also, based on the analysis, you could further build up the user groups and understand your customer journeys, yeah. And above that, you could utilize actually all these tracking data to further enable other applications, yeah. For example, like the marketing attribution, the customer journey analytics, yeah. And this we will also go in detail later. Okay, so this is our platform. And so there are actually 10 different analysis models filling various roles and environment analysis demand. Yeah. And so you can also customize. Yeah. So sorry, I don't know what's wrong with the tool. So there are also several, you can also customize the dashboarding. Of course, you could create your own analysis models and customize it and also build up a nice dashboarding view that according to your daily usage. And we are actually real-time enabled. So first, the data collection actually is done real-time. If anybody has used the Google Analytics, yes, that's quite similar technical behind it. So no matter what customer are doing on the app or on the web page, so we can collect the data on fly. And then the ID mapping is also actually performed on fly. So the data is ready for analysis with the real time. Yeah. And here is a quick understanding of how ID mapping works. So everybody is talking about one ID, but it's a big challenge when the data are coming from different sources. Yeah. For example, it can be somebody, okay, we name one customer who is called Lee, and he is trying to log on to the web and behave something. But there also can be somebody who is using the app anonymously. So what we can do is that we are collecting actually the data, yeah, no matter the customer is logged on or not. So we can collect the data from the app and the web. And if the customer logged on later and the data actually saved before would then be linked via the device ID or further the UID. Yeah, so it depends on the device he is using. And with this approach, we are able to connect actually the historical data somebody has behaved anonymously, and also with the data he has logged on with a proper ID. Yeah, and then also we may have other, systems. For example, you may have a CRM system which is managing your customer data, and they are stored with, for example, mobile numbers together with order number, or you may have your own POS system or ERP system or any other, business systems which is collecting also the customer transactional data, and you would like to link them as well. So if you put them in the system, it can be defined with the identification priority. So which ID you would like to use as the key mapping ID, and this can be defined and customized. And with this approach, you'll be able to actually do the ID mapping for not only the web and the apps, but also together with your business system. Okay, so this is also a typical customer journey that we would like to see. And at the different stages, different IDs are collected. Yeah, you can see from the pictures. Yeah. So first, maybe when somebody is anonymous, the Android ID is collected. And after he is registered as a member, we start to collect his behaviors and save it with the ID member. The member ID, yeah, and then the cookies are also collected, and furthermore, the this tool is a little bit annoying. Yeah, and afterwards, yeah, so for each step, the data actually is collected according to the ID available at this stage, and they are connected afterwards, yeah, integrated. Okay, so the next one is a typical business scenarios. Yeah, so we now have several colleagues in the team. The first one, Lee, is responsible for the marketing team, and Starry is taking care of the digital part, and Jason is from the sales team, Steven is the product team. And everybody actually have their own questions they would like to get the answer from the data. For example, the marketing team would be interested to know, okay, who is our potential customer that would like to purchase our products, yeah, and how to convert fast and reduce the loss rate. And Starry would like to get more insights, what is the customer's key action before and after the purchasing, and how we could observe the customer lifetime value change and the trend. So then we can increase the lifetime value. And the sales guys would be interested in the leads conversion, yeah. And they may have, be handling the VIP customer as the agent, and then they would need to get a 300-degree understanding of their own customer. And of course, the product team would always talk to me saying like, okay, I would like to know, like, when we have engaged the customer with the app, so what is their routine of use our app, and where they got troubles, and if they quit, what is the reason of it? Yeah, so these are the questions we are trying to help the different roles in the company to get answers. Okay, so this is a part of the marketing attribution. So the colleagues who are actually from the marketing department, you may be familiar with this. So what we are really powerful in is that we can connect the data that's coming from different advertising channels. So that's the marketing guys are trying to get, and also combined with the later behaviors about purchasing, ordering, and also the further the lifetime value. And from this approach, we can get really a comprehensive understanding of the customers from different channels. Yeah. And also there are the possibilities, yeah, we could get the magic numbers. This is maybe more interested for the customer success team. So for example, in this sample, we found that the users whose page detail view is higher than 5 times and contributes nearly 30% of the general marketing value. And they are actually more willing to purchase comparing to other behavioral customers. So Then this is indicating, okay, maybe we can filter this type of customer and put the tag on them and run the relative strategies accordingly. Yeah. So this is also the customer journey analytics. This can combine the different analytics models. Yeah. So maybe when the customer is logging and register successfully, we would like to know, okay, what is the routine? Yeah, so we can use the path analysis to understand, and if they are actually successfully to register according to the design of the product. Yeah, and then later when they start, to do the purchasing, like add something to the chart and get coupons. Yeah, so how many users have added the product to the chart and purchased, and what is the decision making time, how long they have to wait until they can finally go for a decision. And this is also the period we have the opportunity to influence the decision. And then also for the second purchasing, especially for the e-commerce customers, only a customer have performed the second purchasing, we consider this customer is finally converted. And then will the customer continue to be retained over the next period of time? What is the difference between the different customer layers? So this is also the you will be interested in if you are running a membership program. So what is the different behaviors between the different group of users? Yeah. Okay, so this is also the tools, like we could analyze the user behavior across multiple device and session. This is what we have explained before. Because of the ID mapping possibilities, no matter the customers are using which tool, actually which front end, that to connect to the platform, we'll be able to connect the data and then start to build up this path analysis. Yeah. And this is a part, for the 300-degree insight. So for the companies which are running a membership programs, and also that you have a high volume of customers. For example, we have a lot of coffee shops who are our customers, and you won't be able to serve the customer one by one and analyze them one by one, but we can build up a good portrait of them and then get the good insight and then also run the strategies accordingly. So and then this is the next scenarios. Some of the scenarios we also need to get the insight of the individual users. For example, in the financial sections, you may have the VIP customers, and also for the vehicle industries, the agent are served their customers one by one, and so every conversation would be precious. So you would like to get a very convenient, insight about your customer, and also even some hint and even some of the template of how to communicate with the customer and what to propose, like what kind of product we should propose and how should talk to the customer. And this, we can serve it by this individual user panel view. Okay. And for the product itself, this is a part that we may be interested in the banner performances. So when the customer, they open the app, we have limited space to show the information or promote something to them. And banner is quite often the tool which is serving this purpose. But how is the performance of the banner? And this is also the models that we could help you to analyze, okay, what is the banner performance, how many times they are clicked, what is the conversion ratios, and how we should optimize. You can also perform A/B test. So combine this tool with A/B testing, and maybe we push the same content through the banner to the customers, they may receive different content in the controlling group and the experimental group. And then we could verify what is the right content to display there. So this is also the banner performance monitoring result would be able to tell us if the experiments are successful or not. Okay, so then also the keywords analysis. So if many of these keywords are always searched, this is an indication that we may have to put some button on the front page that to avoid that everybody has always to search and look for it. And so this kind of keyword analysis would also help us to understand the user's needs and intention and optimize the app itself. Yeah. Okay, so all these analytic scenarios, they can be very different according to the business industries. Yeah, for example, we noticed that for the retail and the financial sectors, they have very different dashboards or the key indicators that they would be interested in. So since we have served more than 2,000 customers, so what we have developed are the templates that for different industries available for you. So for example, if you are running a grocery store and at the moment the team don't have really a clear idea what kind of indicator we should follow, what kind of dashboard we should set up, and what kind of text we should create for our customers. And then we have already these templates available. You could directly select them and import them and start to use them. Of course, when you get experience, you could always customize it according to your requirements. Yeah. So with our tools, we are not only providing a tool, but also together with the domain knowledge accumulated in all these templates. Okay, so now we go to some more technical part to help the audience today to understand our solutions. Yeah, so this is showing how the data actually is combined. You may have, we are actually providing the SDKs for free, as we have mentioned before, and you could integrate the SDKs into the app and the web, and then also from your server side. And then they will start to collect the data. And of course, for the third-party tools, you could also load data into the platform. And there are two approaches. Yeah, they can be real-time integrated, so the SDKs are collecting data on fly. But also from the third-party tools or your other databases, we could enable the batch or the ETL process to load the data into the whole systems. Yeah, and when the data is loaded, the first thing it is doing is to do the mapping. So so this means we are trying to build a one ID already at this step. And once the data is saved in the system, the unique ID is already created for this record to link it with the current behavior and with the historic ones. Yeah. And so then afterwards, you could start to do further analysis based on all these data. Yeah, so like the events data, the user data, and also the shopping carts records, you could also load it into it. Yeah, so that's how actually the data flow looks like. And these are the SDKs that we have available for you, including like Android, iOS, yeah, front end SDKs, and also for your backend. So if you have your own servers, there's also possibility we can enable the data tracking and the mini programs, of course, and for some gaming scenarios, and also you can collect it from the third-party tools. Yeah. Especially we also have it for like Fly and ADJust. If you're using all these tools, you can also collect them. And we have also the A/B testing tools available. And so this is also collecting the data and enabling the A/B testing. Yeah. And these are actually the possibilities of tracking. So if you have used like Google Analytics or the Adobe, tools, you may have actually tried tracking already. So the full stack tracking, so once you have integrated the SDKs, it is enabling the trackings with the default fields. So it's very similar to how you are using the Google Analytics. It's like the no-code approach. Yeah. And of course, if you know exactly what kind of data you would like to collect and it's not included in the default fields, then yes, we can actually do the code checking and then embed the checking events into the apps or your H5 or other mini programs. Yeah. And the code checking on the back end can also be enabled. And also we have this actually very powerful visualized for checking. So you could have a visualized view of your front end and then decide, okay, I would like to check this button, or I would like to check that filter. So these are the possibilities that we could do a visualized front-end checking enablement. And of course, you could do the ETL importing to get the data from other sources into the system. Yeah. And underneath, actually, this is trying to explain how we are enabling actually this out-of-box solutions. The table underneath are quite straightforward. We have two main tables. Yeah, one is the event table, so you can compare it to a transactional tables. It's trying to save the data about who, when, and where, what, how. Yeah, like who has done what, where. Yeah, this kind of questions. And the user table is more like a master data table for the customers. It's saving the identities and the profiles. Yeah, so for all the data integration, like what we have mentioned before in all these checkings, they are feeding the data into these two tables. So once the data is in, all the analytics models that we have delivered together with the solution, they are actually now enabled. You can use the dashboards directly once the data is available in the tables. So that's why it's very user-friendly and so can be used actually by the business users without much effort actually from the IT or the data team. Yeah. And also the event models is allowed to check every details in order to provide a complete user pattern profile. So we can see here what kind of data is actually stored in the user attributes. And these fields are quite flexible. You can add more fields to it if it's needed. And also for the events table, it's saving like all these behavioral data. Yeah. And also if you have your business data, which can be considered also as the behavior, for example, persuading or put an order. Yeah. So all these kind of business data, yeah, this kind of transactional data can also be loaded into the event data, and then they work exactly the same as what we have checked from the web and the app. Okay, so this is the data models. What we have mentioned is that we have the user and the event table, but in some of the scenarios, it's not sufficient. So we are trying to introduce the flexibilities. Yeah, for example, you may have the shopping cart records or further other order information. You don't want to mix it with event. You would like to save it as a data warehouse, with its own models. And then we also further offer other detailed tables you could utilize and to store the data and use it very similar to data warehouse models. Yeah, and you can join it also together with the user table or the events table and build up further information above. Yeah. So this is the balance of the out-of-box solutions together with the flexibility the customer are interested in. Okay, so here now we coming to a typical tracking plan. So how actually we are doing the trackings and the data are saved in the event tables and also the user tables. Yeah, so these are during the service delivery. So if you purchase our product and now at the time we start to really discuss what kind of data should be checked, and then our consultant will work together with you to define actually all these fields and then define the tracking plan. Yeah. Okay, and here is also a question that we are asked very often. Yeah, by our customers. What is the difference between you and the Google Analytics? Yeah, for example, Google Analytics 360 is a paid version, but they also have the GA4 as a free version. So what is the difference between you and them? So what I can say is that from the models below, they are actually very similar. So if you are familiar with Google Analytics, you would also be able to use our tools very conveniently. And so what we are offering more than Google Analytics, first is that we have the open API for the data warehouse, and we also have the Kafka data subscription. So this means all the tracking data, they are saved in the Kafka. And if you would like to use it also as a live streaming for the following following data flow or further data activations, yeah, you could directly subscribe it. Yeah, and we are also providing the real-time detailed data acquisition and further, yeah, maybe I don't go all the details, but you could check them later. And also we are providing more analysis models. And from the data security point of view, yes, we are compliant with the GDPR and the CCPA, and especially if you would like to expand your business into mainland China, because there are some specific user data protection laws, and we are also compliant to that. Yeah, so this means that we can fit to the global users and also together with the specific regions. Yeah, okay, and yeah. And from the product perspective, I think we are very comparable to the Google Analytics in the tracking areas. And what we can offer more is in the service areas. Yeah. So for example, we have actually a big team in the professional service. So it's not only we are providing like the standard product support, but also consulting services, which cover the end-to-end implementation. And if you are running your own campaign or the marketing and you need support and professional services, we are also available for you. And for the post-sale service, yeah, for example, if you need further understanding of the product, we also can have a group chat one-to-one service. So you have your own dedicated consultant who are helping you to understand the product and answer the product questions in a chat directly. So we are offering more services and try to, be customer value driven and, and work together with you until you really get your business value. Yeah. Okay, and also from the pricing value models, we are also a little bit different. So, for example, we because of the implementation, we are providing both the if you have your private cloud, you would like to install it, or you would like to use SaaS services, and so all these approaches are available. So we are not only providing a SaaS service. So if you have your private cloud, and we can also provide the models according. And for the pricing model, yes, we are actually, because in the Asia. So we started from Asia. The customers are more cost sensitive. So the pricing models, we are also more competitive from this perspective. Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to to walk you through an interesting sample from our customer. So it's a customer story sharing, and there are actually a leading chain of premier beauty and personal care stores. Yeah, and they are actually involving us at the time, like they would like to have a more conversion of the customer. So they are at the moment have like a daily activation customers from 20 to 50,000 a day, and at the peak times it's above like 100,000. But the problem is that for different stores, they are setting up a different dashboard. They cannot unify the way how they manage the stores and their own customers. And also when they are running the campaigns, they also don't have a unified company strategies. What is the most efficient way to acquire the customer and to increase the customer activities and involve them more in the campaigns. And also during the analysis, we also noticed that most of the customer, it's actually more than half of the customer who haven't purchased anything at the first day of register as a member. So these are all the questions they would like to, the problem they would like to improve. So unify the management of the business and also get a good insight, across the company, and also to increase the conversion ratio of their new customers. And this is the dashboard that we set it up for them. And these are the key, values that are indicators involved in the dashboards to help them to have a comprehensive view of their business. And then the second step, it comes actually from the get a good insight of the customers. Yeah, so there are actually some very interesting findings. Yeah, so we group the customers, by the first purchasing happens after how many days they have registered as member. And what is surprisingly, the customers who only performs a purchasing action after 31 days registered as a member has the highest, retention rate and contributed the highest average return per user. So what is the reason behind? Yeah, these are the typical users who carefully compare this shop of their product, their pricing with other shops, and then make a decision of purchasing. And that's why, so the customers who actually come back after 31 days after registration are the loyalist ones and will purchase more stuffs. And this is one example of the interesting insight you can get by the customer analysis. Yeah, and of course, with the different groups, you can apply different strategies how we could integrate with them. Yeah, and this is also like how we could apply different strategy according to the customer group. For example, if the customer already paid a high amount, like above a certain value, and they already collected enough points, to perform a redemption, and then we could send actually the notification could be relevant to the point of redemption. And also the customers, this is also one interesting one. Like they purchase a large number of products at the same time and from the same brand. And these are the customers who like to stocking up stuff. So they will be very sensitive about the timing. So when there's a promotion of the product or discount, this is the right group of customer that we should approach. So yes, I don't go through all the details, but just let you know. Yeah. So we can actually analyze and understand our customers via the data from different perspectives and get good interesting points. Yeah. And then afterwards, we can group the customers and then apply different strategies on them. And these strategies, because they are customized according to the customer group, usually the outputs are much better. Yeah. So with our solutions, of this customer, the cooperation lasted for years, and but actually for the first month of the go live, we already made the increase of 20% increase of the new registrations, and the GME actually increased by 40%. And the new member average return per user increased by 15%. Yeah, so these are quite some significant improvement we can achieve together with the customer. Okay, now it's come to the part of so now I have go through actually the main part of the presentation. And one of the benefits of today's webinar, we are trying to give out 3 POC possibilities, to all the audience. Yeah. Okay. So for this POC, what is going to be included? First, it's we will set up the scope. And also document, you will also get the documents of learning and also online trainings. And we will have the consultant to help you to design the tracking. And afterwards, it will be implemented. We also have some quick solution like the 4-stack tracking can be enabled actually very quickly. And then after get the data and the data verification, we could configure the dashboard to you and also to verify the result acceptance. Yeah, so it's actually a really mini project that we are going to perform together with you as a proof of concept. And it's going to be for free for the first 3 audience who actually replied. So first, so we were going to have actually one secret word, and if you're typing it and post it in the chat, and the top 3, so fastest top 3 audience will get this free chance of proof of concept. It was actually around 20 to 50,000 US dollar. Yeah. Okay, are you ready? So if you are ready, I'm going to give you the keyword now. So the keyword is UBA, User Behavior Analytics. Just type in that 3 letters in the chat. Let's start. Okay, now we already received a lot, so my colleagues are very excited. Yeah, thank you for your participation. Yeah. Okay, so my colleagues would then take a snapshot because we have multiple channels which are doing this live streaming, and then we will, give out the names, yeah, by the end of the presentation. So yeah, and now maybe we can move to the next part. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Yeah, during actually the whole presentation. So do we have it already ready? So, and my colleagues are also going to send out one questionnaire for today's presentation. Yeah. So, okay. So maybe during the time you are answering the questionnaire. So please, are these the square code for the questionnaire? Yeah, okay. And so when everybody is filling out the questionnaire, I also would pick some of the questions from the audience. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The first one is from Liang Shu. You asked like, how do we choose between code, automated, and the visual tracking methods? Yeah. Okay. This depends on the project planning. If you would like to get some data very quickly and enable the whole team with the analytics, and at the moment the team is relatively young or new, they don't have much experience, then I would recommend to use actually the no-code, the automated tracking, and then you will be able to build up your own dashboards very fast. And when the team actually are more skilled up, they know exactly what they would like to see. And then you could actually use the visual tracking and further even the code tracking. And so this other tracking methods will take a little bit more effort and also bring more data. So, and this also, I would say this depends on your project planning, like how fast you would like to have it implemented, and also the skill level of your team. And all these methods can be used in parallel. They are not conflicting to each other. So you can actually enable them one after the other. That won't be a problem. You can also enable them together. Yeah. Okay, I also received another question from Yan Shijie. Okay, so what kind of data should we collecting for effective user behavioral analysis? I think at the beginning, the most efficient ones would be the clicking and also the product detail page view. Yeah, these very traditional ones. And so if you enable the auto checking, these are the recommended fields that you should start checking. Okay, so I also received a question with GDPR and the CCPA. So for the cookie ID, if it's allowed to be collected or not, it depends on the customer's consent agreement. So if the customer agreed to allow the app or the web to collect the most detailed actions in the consent, then we would collect this kind of data. And if he disagree and said, please do not check me, and this kind of data won't be collected. And also for the GDPR, I think they also have very strict rules like, once the customer, they change the consent, we should be able to delete the data that's stored historically. And since we can see actually the data we are saved in the events table and the users table separately. So this means actually the IDs are saved, in the events table, you would only have the technical IDs. So the real information are all saved in the users table. So they can be deleted or mocked up very conveniently according to your data security strategies. So from this perspective, we can be well actually compliant to the GDPR regulations. Yeah. So the cookie ID questions is really depends on the consent of the customer. Okay. And there's also another question. So said, okay, I'm a graduate student and want to use to store my data project. How to use for free? That's actually a good question. At the moment, we haven't offered for you to store your data for free, but you can use our demos from our official sites. If you would like really to try out store the project for free and for a short period. So for some research project, this maybe the university can contact us and we could enable an account for you. So at the moment, the demos on the official site, they are for free, but at the moment you are not able to apply it to complex data. Okay, there's also a question from Bobby. So availability of connecting data via APIs and the webhooks to stream live data into CDP or synchronized data for asynchronized and synchronized data. So I try to understand this question. So the APIs can be served for two purposes. One is to stream the data out. The other is to have the inbound data streaming. And so for the inbound data connectivities, we have the real-time data that can be connected from the SDK, that's no problem. But if you want to have it from a business solution with a real time, so this have a prerequisite that your business solution is able to generate a real-time data queue and it's available for the consumption. And with this approach, we can set it up. And the webhooks is another end. It's more used for the outbound data. So for example, recently we are also doing a POC planning with a customer. They have a receipt that is generated for the customer after every transaction. And they would like to also put advertisement in the receipt according to the customer's preference. So according to his portrait. And so with this kind of approach, the webhook would serve perfectly well in this kind of scenarios. So first, when the transaction is finished, this is event data, which will be directly collected into our CDP. And then the data, our a marketing automation engine, which is listening to the table, will immediately get the information. Okay, there's a new record coming in, which is just finished the transaction, which fulfills the prerequisites to activate the strategy. And then the decision tree would then define, okay, what kind of data we should, what kind of advertisement we should propose to him. And then this information will be immediately pushed to the business solution and also then to the app to inform, okay, now the receipt you generated should put this picture and the message in. And so this is how and then also after the receipt is popped up, a return message, feedback information will be sent back to the CDP that, okay, now this message is delivered to the customer successfully. And this webhook connectivity will take around 5 to 10 days of development effort. And we have a development team which will support you to do this kind of very customized scenarios. I hope this answered your question. And this also another question from Alexandra. Is there any industry specific solution that sensors provide, especially for SaaS software? Oh, yes. Yeah, so that's a very good question. As I had mentioned before, we have different templates for different industries. And for the SaaS software, so internally we call it, this is called in the section of the to be business. Yeah. And at the moment, yes, the template, how it works, I just try to explain to you. Yeah. So we also segment our customers to different groups. And for this kind of SaaS industries, they are in a specific group. And we have experts working on these projects, and they will come back with the information like what kind of KPIs that we accumulated during different projects, and that's frequently used by the customers. And this kind of information will be stored actually in our internal systems. Each industries, they have their own demo system, which is accumulating all these KPIs. And once a customer from this sector come in and ask for a template, and we can select the right content and use our tool. It's actually 5 minutes exporting and importing. So for your questions, yes, we have some templates also for the SaaS industry. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so if some of the questions I haven't covered, we try to also later answer it in the emails. And now it's time to announce who are the winners. Okay. So because we are trying to, we have 2 channels which are having the live stream, so we get a screenshot of the top ones. And so everybody, you can just double check your name on the screen, and our colleagues will contact you, after this webinar, and the experts will double check with you about the scenario that you would like to perform the POC. So my colleagues put 5 candidates here, just in case, some of the scenario won't fit perfect well for POC, that we have to serve you for other possibilities. But yeah, the top 3 ones will get these opportunities immediately. Yeah, congratulations to you, and thank you very much for this participation of the lucky draw. Yeah. Okay, maybe then also some of the announcement for the follow-up activities that we are trying to perform. So everybody who joined this webinar, you will get actually our digital version of the tracking design, and also the digital instruction of ID mapping delivered by email to you. Yeah. And in our next webinar, that's maybe also a forecast, we would like to also invite a few customers or potential customers, to join us in a live session for a web tracking or app tracking and analytics consulting session. So this means we talk about your real business scenarios, and in the live session help you to define the tracking plans, and also how to apply it. Yeah. So if you would be interested in, please also reply to the follow-up mail that my colleagues are going to send out to you, or directly contact us. So we will find maybe maximum 2 candidates for the next webinar to discuss it. And also the app tracking or the web tracking is just one scenarios we are serving the customer. And what we are actually much, providing more than Google Analytics is that our product portfolio actually are more completed in the user operation or the customer success and growth areas. So this means we have the customer data platform together with the marketing automation tools. So for these other tools, we will also organize further sessions and to introduce them. And thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, I'm very excited to finish my first live streaming session. And thank you for being our audience. And below are actually the possible channels to approach us, or please follow up us on LinkedIn, WhatsApp, YouTube, all these available channels. We are also going to share more industry informations and also our success stories or experiences in different business scenarios through these channels. And let's keep in touch. Thank you very much for your time.
The daily consumption of users changes every day. Nowadays, industries are accelerating service upgrades with online and offline integration and providing accurate and personalized services. When facing a massive surge in data,